The Loud House. 1 in a million. This episode is basically just about Lincoln and Clyde trying to become the 1 millionth customer of Flip Student Drill. I originally thought this episode was going to be kind of like Intern for the Worst, I think it was, where Lincoln and Clyde are like tasked to help out like at Flip's gas station in order to like win a prize. And like it ends with them like, having to be competitive in order to get that prize. Because technically they can't both be the 1 millionth customer, so that's what I was thinking was going to happen. But no, instead, completely different. A completely different episode is what we got. And I love this one. I really, really like this one. Once again, season 7. No. I'm not going to say like every episode from season 7 is amazing. It's not. I'll summarize for you guys. I watched, I think, 4 other episodes tonight. I watched this one, of course. I watched the one of Lynn being a wrestler. I thought that was a good episode, too. I think it was Lenny. That one with Tanya or whatever. It was alright. It was a fine enough episode for what it was. And then the Luann episode was alright. But the Morticians one was kind of a little mixed. So I'm not saying that, season 7's amazing or anything like that. But it is definitely an improvement for sure. And this episode is definitely no exception. First things first. I'm just going to take care of the elephant in the room or the bully in the room, whichever one. Chandler. Okay. Probably the most underutilized character in this entire show. And he's in this episode. He was also in another episode earlier this season, but it wasn't really that good. It was an okay episode. It wasn't, bad, but it was just kind of okay. Pretty much, it was very predictable. Pretty much. That's pretty much what I could really say about that one without going into too much detail about it. If you know, you know. But this one, on the other hand, is, I think this might be the best Chandler we've seen. This is a really, really, really good Chandler, moment, I guess. Because this episode technically isn't all, Chandler. This isn't, basically he comes in at the very, middle point of the episode. The whole rest of the episode is basically Lincoln and Clyde just trying to scheme a way to get Flip to have more customers so the counter goes up a little bit quicker. And then once there's only one more customer left, Chandler happens. Oh my god, and I was so happy it did. I absolutely love Chandler as an antagonist. I want to say whenever I did my No Bus, No Fuss video from a few years ago, I was very disappointed that the bullies were just random people. I was fully expecting them to be Chandler. And his little squad that he had, I think Richie and Trent or whatever. Because, man, whenever he is on screen, I love it. I just absolutely love it. Because he's so different than any other character in this show. He's just a jerk. He is straight up, no punches pulled. He is a jerk. He is probably the most unlikable character in this entire show. And that's why I love him. Because it's interesting. And like I said, this part where he's in, this little part in this episode where he's in is probably some of the best Chandler I think we've seen. Quite frankly, because I think it's probably the most of him I think we've seen. Aside from maybe Broadcast Blues, I think, from last season, I want to say. Let me think. I love the part. One of the parts of the thumbnail. One of the parts of the thumbnail. I absolutely love it whenever they're fighting inside the convenience store. That was hilarious. For once, this show, they did the little dust cloud thing, of course. But for once, this show lets you see what's actually going on. I'm so happy they did. It is beautiful. Just everything from that little moment where they're all trying to fight to get inside the store. That was great. That was good. That was really fun. Let me think. Whenever Clyde tries to stutter, whenever he's trying to tell Chandler off for making fun of them, and Lincoln has to be like, "It's okay, breathe." Just a nice little moment between Lincoln and Clyde. You don't really see that very often. I mean, you kind of do, but it's just kind of it's nice to see it regardless. It's nice. Kind of like at the end of Fluff and Foiled, very similar. But I do have a few gripes with this episode. I absolutely love this episode very much, but there's a few minor little tiny gripes that I have with this episode. First off, the ending is kind of weird. I do not like how Flip was like, I'm gonna take everything off the shelves because you guys were fighting over being the 1 millionth customer. I'm gonna say it a million times over, and I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm so sorry. It's just gonna have to happen. I absolutely despise Flip. He is the worst character in the show. I just hate him. I'm sorry. I hate him so much. Like, at least Chandler is interesting. You know? Like, at least he's interesting. Flip is just... I don't care. Anyways, moving on. Regardless of my hatred for the character, I still think you could have probably done something a little bit better there. Maybe make it to where, like, instead of Flip being the one to be, like, the person who screwed them over, have Chandler screw himself over, maybe? Or better yet, as I was watching the episode, I thought this is what they were going to go for, but whenever I heard that, like, Flip was the one who, like, took everything off the shelves, I was like, what the fuck? What? That doesn't make any... What? You remember the part at the very beginning whenever, like, Lincoln and Clyde were trying to give him all the business or whatever? Have that be the reason. Like, oh yeah, everyone got everything. Everyone, it's all sold out. That way you still have Chandler getting, like, screwed over, while also making him seem like the worst person in the scenario, you know what I mean? I can honestly go on and on and on and on about different scenarios that could work, but I'm not going to because I don't want to bore you. And then the other small thing, very, very small thing, is the fact that at the very beginning of this episode, Lincoln gives us, like, a backstory as to what's actually going on. He mentions that Flip has this contest, and he started this contest, quote, a few years ago. As we see the Morticians Club with the member who was just recently added, like not even a season ago. And Lincoln and Clyde just seem to be unchanged. There's really no attempt to make them seem a little bit younger or just whatever. I personally think it might have been a script error or something. I don't know. But it was really weird, and I had to go like, wait. He said a year, or like a few years, not a few weeks. Huh? It took me out of the episode just a little bit. But I kind of chalked it up to the Loud House doesn't really care about continuity, and I kind of just was like shrugging my shoulders. I'm like, yeah, whatever, fine. Maybe Lincoln misremembered it. I don't know. Who knows? No, that's the way they'll escape it. Like, 'twas the fight before Christmas where they said like, oh yeah, this is, we never seen him. We haven't seen him for like 5 years. anyways, like I said, it's not perfect. Season 7's not perfect, but I don't think the Loud House was ever really perfect, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, even season 1 and 2 had its issues, but it's still a very good show. I enjoy the Loud House, I really do, which is why I'm still here doing this, because I care, man. I care. Anyways, I'm gonna go and go before I ramble and care too much about this show. I'm going to see you guys soon in my next video. Great episode. I love this one. And another really, really good episode to add to my list of episodes I'm going to rewatch in the future if this show goes off the air, if season 8 isn't going to happen. I'll go and see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.